Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. It's December 9th. Already December 9th. Time is flying. Already been up for many hours. Wife's been taken to the airport, so I am back home doing the live stream. Long morning already. Hope I don't fumble over my words too much, but thank you for tuning in. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Sterling. There we go. Thank you. Yes, there's a lot of earnings tomorrow, but there are some this week still. Good morning, Ted. Good morning, Patrick. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. It's AutoZone, Academy Sports are tomorrow. Their 50 basis point expectations were way out of whack. Market's trying to price in 25. We'll have to see. We got the CPI, we got PPI numbers coming up this week. We have cycles at tops. So will we get a rollover? We still have potential significant topping patterns from an Elliott standpoint and a DeMark standpoint. Also, good morning, John. What else? What else do we have here going on? Good morning, Andrea. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, I saw that. MicroStrategy acquired more Bitcoin. It's turning into the MicroStrategy Bitcoin bubble. So good morning, Richard. Good morning, Jacob. Hello, Charles. Everybody, we got the whole gang here. Good morning to all the people in the background. All right, let's see what else. Let's get straight to it. Today, there's nothing going on. We got consumer inflation expectations coming out at 11 Eastern. So we'll see forecasts to be 3%. Prior was 2.9. We got wholesale inventories at 10 Eastern. And then we got some 3 and 6 month bill auctions. There's nothing. But this week, tomorrow's sort of quiet too. Not much business optimism, non-farm productivity. But Wednesday really kicks it off with the CPI numbers. Thursday's the PPI numbers. And Friday is just export-import prices. So the two big days this week are Wednesday and Thursday. Also, remember, there's your Fed watch. We're back to 87% for pricing in one cut. And remember, next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, next Wednesday, so our final data pieces going into shall they cut or not is 9 days away. So far this morning, you got Tesla up again, Oracle up, Palantir up, trading at absolutely psychotically insane valuations, but nobody cares yet. Got a little bounce in energy going on. Groups, basic materials, consumer cyclical, and energy are definitely leading the push higher. Keep an eye on gold. We'll get to that chart in a second. Fear and greed. We're technically in neutral mode after moving sideways, edging up a little higher, but still sort of a sideways correction. Market's still overall climbing. Schiller PE, we haven't topped 39 yet. Euphorometer, the Euphorometer, we're tracking this now too because it has taken out the dot-com highs. So we have more euphoria based off this, which is combining bullish sentiment, forward PE ratio, and the VIX. Okay, so this and you're putting them together and you can see, when it starts rolling over, you tend to get the pullbacks. But right now, this is the most euphoric the market's been since the data sample has been tracked. So since 1988, does that mean we have to roll over just yet? No, but I'm definitely in caution mode for a number of reasons. Not one of them being my green tea. Good morning, Royal Palms. Global food prices hit 19-month high. Yes, I saw stuff about the food prices this weekend. Completely correct. Thank you for putting that in there, Sterling. So that's where we sit now. In terms of earnings, we got Oracle after the close today. Do not ignore Oracle. Also, from a housing perspective, you got Toll Brothers, major builder, reporting today. So it's going to be interesting to see what they say about housing. AutoZone, Academy Sports, as Sterling put in, Tomorrow morning, GameStop, Stitch Fix, Dave and Buster's. Not really anything market moving there. Macy's with remember they had to delay their earnings because of that. I forget how much it was. It was in the $100 million or more. They uncovered some improper accounting. Adobe after close Wednesday. What else? Costco. That's going to be a big Thursday after close. You got Broadcom, Costco, and Restoration Hardware. Definitely Costco can be minor market moving. And remember, Wednesday we have the CPI, Thursday with the PPI. Nothing on Friday, so we get a nice, peaceful day on Friday. Maybe I should just take the day off. By the way, I think on, what's today, 9th? I think on Thursday I'm on Ninja Trader. I believe Thursday I am on Ninja Trader again. I would like to take Friday off. What else? Okay, so we have this wedge, the minor wedging pattern still heading up. I'm keeping an eye on this little potential 4-hour double top because that could start a more significant pullback, but we need a close below 6,076 on at least a 4-hour basis. Now, if this moves sideways and then rotates back up again and retests the 6,100 level, that will be off the table. You can see how the rotation zone is flattening out, but we're still holding it. My first warning sign that something's up is if you can see here, I'm just doing this retracements on the one big bar from Friday. If we start closing below 60.89 and also the 4-hour rotation zone, then I'm going to start watching for the rollover pattern. But it won't be at least more complete until we close below that low. And then that's not a major top, but this could start turning into a major top. The next key area I'll be watching is 60.15. The major line in the sand for me, based off of the current. Now, if we take out and make new highs, these levels will go up. But 59.51 is very, very key if we start cascading lower. You see daily cycles heading down, weekly cycles back in the top area, and we're still on massive, every push higher right now, every push higher, the RSI is just lagging. So doesn't mean it has to end. On the next pullback, I'll still be watching for buy bounce patterns, and then we'll go through the secondary reaction once we get that. But, so the trend is still up. We need some kind of sell pattern and then to watch for the secondary bounce back. That's going to give us a lot more information. Until that, the trend is still up. NASDAQ, not much. Keeping an eye right now on about 21,575. We start moving below that. We'll be focused on 21,500 to 515, which is the bottom of the 4-hour rotation zone. All right. We've taken out the minor harmonics, which also took the potential double top off the table. This is also wedging higher. And remember, also the market breadth stinks. It really does stink. But, again, you can't trade against this market just yet. You can't trade against it. If we do break to new highs, 21,892, so 21,9 is the next key area. Good morning, Anissa. Good morning, McRangers. What else do we have? Good morning, Heinrich. So, just my advice is to know where your short-term stops are if you're for any short-term trades. We have not triggered long-term stuff yet or medium-term, but know where your short-term because they could potentially get triggered this week. Dow is so far gone a whole lot of nowhere since really before Thanksgiving. Here's your price action since before Thanksgiving. And it's gone a whole lot of nowhere. But we have very, very key support about this 44,625. We start breaking below that. I'm watching 44,375 to 44,400. The key kiss it goodbye in the short term for me is 43,809. If we were to get a rally today in the Dow, pay attention to Friday's high on a closing basis, because that would be a percent beat buy. That would have been triggered against very key support. Separate from that, there's no great, fantastic pattern just yet. You have a stretched out little mini double, but nothing that I look to do anything with. It's too sloppy. Russell into the rotation zone. Pay attention to Friday's high with the Russell too. In case we follow through with a close, that could be a rotation buy and a percent B buy for a potential bounce back to 2450 at least. Other than that, the key support on the Russells is 2392 still. VIX up a little today, but still in the 13 handle, nothing to talk about. The DAX is pausing at the next harmonic. See, Friday we took it out. Today we tried to rally a little harder, but sitting back at that level. And the DAX, very, very overbought. Cycles at the top on the daily. Cycles getting top on the weekly and getting very overbought and overextended from the weekly rotation zone. So, going to be watching for some kind of correction. Could be a sideways correction, but the key support in the DAX is now back about 20,135 to 20,150. Notes, pausing against the 37.5 harmonic. This will probably start getting a move on after the CPI numbers. Let's just take a look at the yield. The yield is, here's something I'm watching with the yield. Pay attention to Friday's high. In case we rally today, a close above Friday's high is a percent B buy against the rotation zone. And I'm keeping a little eye on this. We have a double, which has been confirmed. Watching to see if this 4-hour closes above 4.179, so 4.18, because that could start triggering a little mini bounce. That could technically even trigger if it gets a move on today. We just don't have a lot of information coming out today. But still, that could take it back into the weekly rotation zone headed into those CPI numbers. So I'm also paying attention to the dollar index. Why? We do have a potential double bottom here, which is completely valid for the first and second targets. And if this were to reverse and trade back above yesterday or Friday's highs, it would be a percent beat buy front run. So I'm paying close to that. That may not trigger. The front run may not trigger. Okay? Those are the two things I'm keeping an eye on with the dollar index. Crude has absolutely nothing besides trading off of key support. But everything from my perspective right now with crude is just scalps within a trading range. There's not any great longer term setups. It might be rich. It might be. But right now, there's nothing. Do we still have a lot of risks to crude to the upside? Yeah. Things can really blow up still in the Middle East. You know, Assad's overthrown, back to Russia. Syria is going to become the Wild West. Israel now taking out key strategic things in Syria. Then they'll have a direct runway for their Air Force with Iran. So it's going to get very interesting potential. But is there something? Not just yet. I am keeping an eye if this support does hold. Natty gas, interestingly enough. Now, I shifted, these were the setups on Friday. I shifted them to the conservative because we got a little bounce here. You can see the really nice double bottom pattern. Not really tradable. Not really tradable. But gap up, running to the final conservative target, and then rotating back down. So that is off the table. And did this invalidate the bigger pattern that already got triggered? The bigger double top pattern. And see, no, it did not. It just ended up at that 50% harmonic. So you still, we still have the bigger potential top pattern in play. We just had a little mini double bottom trigger in reverse. But the key level to watch for to invalidate that double top pattern is 3.379. Other than that, we still have magnet prices at least down after that little mini double bottom because that completed. Gold is another one. Keep a close eye on this, and I'll explain why. Thursday downward pressure. Friday, break lower, redrawing the triangle, and then reversing back in. This is what I call a potential shake and bake, also setting up for a percent B buy. So I was paying attention to Friday's high, which we're already through. Why? Because people playing the gold breakdown are now trapped and it's coming out of the other side of this channel. I mean, watch now where it closes in relation to yesterday's high, and hopefully it closes from the bullish side. Hopefully it closes above 26.81, which is the close from back on Friday the 29th. And then the key area I'd be looking for at least a stop raise on that would be 27.11 to 27.15 if it does follow through. This would not be something I'd give a lot of room. So my stop area would be around 26.50. Just trying to teach something I'm looking at that I don't talk about normally, but this is a completely valid horizontal shake and bake pattern. Yeah, I don't know why we're bombing in Syria. We should not be involved in that. It's not our war to fight. We got to stop fighting all these wars. Oh. This is why it's a joke. This is all this stuff. When's the clown show ever wrong? Because again, didn't they say like, and all these people, all these global warming people and everything else, oh, this is going to happen. Manhattan's going to be underwater. They all own beachfront mansions. Well, if everything's going to be underwater, why do you own a beachfront mansion? All my evangelical friends are going Armageddon crazy over events in the Middle East. Okay. Yeah, the Middle East is a there's a lot of risk there that I think is being there's a lot of geopolitical risk in the world. Everything's being ignored. Everything's being ignored. Silver. There we go. Double bottom triggered. Couple sideways moves. Holding. Remember, we watched. Let me clean up this chart a little bit. I got too many friggin' lines. Remember, it held against the 62.5 from the pullback level, never closing below it, forming the little double bottom pattern, triggering, and then we watch for the pullbacks between the candle bodies and the trigger point, the peak, which we pulled back a couple times, first crossed the rotation zone, and now we're in full blast off mode today. So this gave multiple opportunities to get in. Key area I'm watching is not just the third target, this 33.20, but a close above 33.075. Shifts, I'm not ignoring the 75% harmonic target on this one for a very specific reason. It was a breakdown zone with the candle bodies, so 33.75 roughly, and then 34.40 is the magnet price. All right. By the way, we had the double trigger in copper. We had a potential little double top that did not trigger. So this is an example of we had a counter pattern that did not trigger, and the initial pattern just continued to play out. Hitting the second target. There we go. The yen, keeping an eye on this now, because there's a very strong support base at 149.60. Keeping a close eye on this, although we are getting the cycle tops on the daily, but going closer to cycle bottoms. So this could start forming more of a Major bottom pattern and more yen weakening. Not much to talk about with the euro. Spiders pausing at the next target, but looking to gap just slightly above Friday's high. The next key target for that is 611.41. Key support is coming in at 6. Minor support is 607.60. Then I'm looking to the major support coming in. We still have a gap left behind in the rising rotation zone right around the closing price, about 604, 603.91, but I'll be watching 604 on the first rollover play if we get it. The Qs, I got to switch from reverse harmonics as we took out all the harmonics back to forward harmonics. And we're sitting against a forward harmonic minor cluster area. If we do break through there to next, the Qs keep marching, 531.43. Very key support is coming in at 520.35, and then it would be for the gap fill at 516.87. Bitcoin. Trying to roll over a bit with very overbought cycles at the top. Now, it's really the question was whether this will be a sideways correction or a pullback correction. So far, it's a sideways correction. I'd be keeping an eye on about 95,500 on a closing basis. What else do we have? We have the good old Tesla. We hit the magnet price last week and is now just continuing to march higher. So we got to pull back. I mean, what is this trading in a PE again? And their deliveries, 101. Deliveries are going to disappoint, but nothing matters to this market. Next major thing is to retest the all-time highs back from November 21, where the next harmonic is. So that's where we sit right there. Keeping an eye on that. NVIDIA, not much going on in NVIDIA. This thing is insane. Palantir, you got insiders dumping left and right. 364 P to E ratio. Gapping up again. We have the next harmonic 81.02. We're gapping up to 81.25. This thing's beyond vertical. Look at this. Is there a short? No. But look at this. We have too much money sloshing around, and the Fed cuts again. They're insane. Huh, that's interesting. I don't ever recall looking at DHLGY. Interesting. All right. What else do we have? What else? I don't know what else. All right. That's where we'll wrap it up going into the open. Let's just peek at the price. Not much talking about. Keep an eye. We got very key support going to the open about 60.95. If we do start launching through 60.97, key resistance intraday is about 61.03. That's really about it. I'm going to wrap this up. Again, my major things I'm focusing on: a dollar index. I'm focusing on gold. I'm focusing on silver because of the double bottoms, and copper for the little mini doubles. So those are the major key patterns today. CHAU. Ew. I mean, you have easing China financial conditions again. Building a nice base, but geez. I'd just be using your harmonics for any targets to the long side. So about 1791. So we don't even worry about gaps in this. China share bull 2 times tonight. Use 1963 and then 2136 on any continued bounce. SPEU. SP. Yeah, bounce off of weekly support for a couple weeks ago. A weekly percent B buy triggered last week. A weekly percent B buy. So if you were long this, the key target area I would be focusing on is 42.50 in the short term. With that, and by the way, if this breaks down and takes out these lows, kiss it goodbye. RX. Gee, you guys aren't letting me go. I've never looked at I guess I have looked at RX. Maybe for you before. Trying to break up of key resistance. First cross rotation zone, so this could get interesting against very major support. So I'd be watching for any support levels to hold on a pullback, about right around $8. And then my key target would be 1060 area for a first key target for a long. All right. We're calling it a day now. I shall see everyone tomorrow. Have a wonderful trading day. Bye for now.